This is episode 12 and the episode where we find out if we can clinch automatic promotion or if it will be a playoff battle. There are 3 other promotion hopefuls. Airdrie's run-in of games has Stenhousemoor, Peterhead and East Stirlingshire, Peterhead being the main difficulty. They're currently in 3rd place, but their recent form has been very poor. Forfar have Elgin, East Stirlingshire again and Annan, including us. Airdrie also including us actually. Peterhead have Stranraer, Airdrie and Elgin, plus Stenhousemoor, Airdrie and Elgin looking to be the toughest opposition. And we have a tough run-in, because we have Annan and Stranraer who are sitting at the bottom of the table, followed by 1st and 2nd place. We start our promotion push against Annan, what should be a winnable game. Annan currently down in 8th place in League 2. We have the fortune of Balmer back from international duty, so he can fall back into that defensive role in midfield. Wilson gets to have his preferred position back up front. We weren't that patient in that approach there. We tried a long ball. It was picked up by Annan, who got all the way back to the goalkeeper. He pings a long ball, and our defender gets in and takes out the forward, getting a yellow card and giving away a penalty. Annan have a chance here to go 1-0 up at 3 minutes. They take it. At the moment as well, we have Airdrie losing to Stenhousemoor 1-0 as we try to break forward here with McKechnie. Gets the ball in to Duthie at the back post and he manages to head that accurately and powerfully into the right hand side of the net. We've tended not to see that many of those types of goals lately. This is a little bit more counter-attacking from us. McKechnie with a vital ball in and a well placed header there from Duthie. We equalise, it's 10 minutes down, but immediately there's a highlight from the restart. Would you believe this team is in 8th place in League 2 based on how they're passing this ball around? Maybe once they give it away there. Donnelly now plays it to Duthie again, back to Donnelly. He's looking for some sort of options. He gets it in McKechnie, tries to place it around the goalkeeper, but it's well saved in the end. 15 minutes down, Airdrie still losing. Peterhead drawn and Forfar also drawn with Elgin at the moment. Airdrie have also received a red card in that game now, out on this left hand side to Birch. That attacking wing back role. He comes forward, gets it into Wilson, who also tries a header. From Wilson, I would have preferred him to be in there with a volley. It's much better with his feet. I do think we've been the better team. We'll send it back out, we'll say that. So Beatty there with a chance from the corner. Looks like some chaos is happening in that Annan defence, but we can't take advantage. We have another corner. Again, we get the header on goal, but it's a save by the goalkeeper. Forfar have taken the lead in their game. They now have 55 points. Peterhead also taking the lead in their game. If we don't win here, we drop 5 points behind the leaders. We'll take a more positive approach, change Ryan Donnelly to his more comfortable advanced forward position, and bring Jenks on in midfield in place of Wilson, who's not had a good game. We'll head back out in hopes that we can squeeze it. We'll go even more attacking should nothing come of this. Got a free kick now. Birch outside the box. He goes for it for long range, but Fleming is up to that. And he tips it wide. It's a corner now. Corner comes in. Again, it's trying to go to that near post. Doesn't quite make it. It's all the way out to Jenks now. We'll get anything more from this. We don't. That's the end of the highlight. We have to go more attacking. We need something from this game now. We're actually going to increase the tempo, increase the directness. By performance alone, you would say we should take off Donnelly, but Connell hasn't scored a goal for us in the league. And Aidan Smith, although he can play there, he's never really had that good a performance in that position. So we're going to leave it as it is. Simply change to very attacking. Nothing is coming of this. We're going to go with both attacking fullbacks. In fact, we're going to make them wing back attack on this right hand side too. We're going to make Riley more attacking. We're going to have Balmer in a support role and see if that can make any difference in this last 5 minutes. But it's actually Annan who have the chance now. They've got in there because we are on that more attacking. Look. Mahmood clears it though, he gets to McKechnie. McKechnie runs forward, he's got people running with him. Donnelly gets through, he's in on goal, but he doesn't manage to place it. His quality seems to have dipped in this season. At 31 years old, he shouldn't really be dipping the way he is, but we've struggled for goals. Jenks on this right hand side, we've got one last opportunity. Going for Robertson, edge of the box. Trying to pick the pass out, but Duthie's well offside there, that's going to be checked off. And we head out of this with a 1-1 draw, which we have 3 games, it's mathematically possible, but a win here would have made it a lot more competitive towards these last 2 games where we have to beat Forfar and Peterhead. You can see since we implemented this tactic, we have been gradually sweeping our way up the table. And actually for the second half of this season, we are the top form team. And that is really exciting going into next season, even if we don't get promoted now. As long as we don't make sweeping changes, again we've learned our lesson from that, as if we had to, we should be promotion favourites next season. And here is promotion hopeful game 2. We have Stranraer currently bottom of the table, minus 20 goals. I'd hope that we could get a couple against them. Forfar have East Stirlingshire in 9th place. Peterhead have got Airdrie, so someone is going to drop points here. Possibly both of them. We well and truly know what our first 11 is now, and it's very much this side, so we don't really change too much these days, especially with having 7 days in between most of the time. And we kind of lack a little bit of quality outside of that first 11. I'm just going to change our mentality to be positive from the get-go. The main player would actually change is our attacking midfielder really. Often bring on Jenks, our youth player, instead of Wilson. But Wilson's got quite a bit of quality in there when he does turn up. We're using this patient approach again here. Robertson flies that ball over to Birch on this left hand side. He's very attacking, likes to get forward a lot. Gets it in there, but Donnelly, again, we do need a new striker next season. That is our complete focal point on the transfer window. He's just not been putting them away as he was last season. He's still got a considerable goal rate. He's just not been as reliable. Someone needs to give him a shake and tell him that we're trying to get a promotion here. Donnelly collects it though from a little bit of poor play, and there you go, he's got the composure to put it over the Stranraer goalkeeper. It's not often that you see Donnelly score like that these days. He's been snatching at his opportunities, but somehow did well here. McNiff, for whatever reason, decided to pass that back to Sonker. Was nowhere near him. Donnelly gets in there quickly. Great goal. We go 1-0 up here against Stranraer. Takes us to 53 points. We're currently 4 points off the leaders of the table. We'd still have to win our 2 last games of the season to go top. So we're going to head out that same team. Make no changes. The one that is playing a little bit poorly is Robinson, but he hasn't got as much match sharpness. Birch gets that free kick in, unexpectedly smashes it off the bar and into the goal. It's 2-0 to Albion Rovers. What a free kick that is from Birch. I think we need to play for set pieces a bit more often. That seems like a way in which we could get goals here. I'm going to add that in and see how much of an effect that has in this match. We've already scored once, so it's probably slim pickings now. Stranraer. Chance to come forward in this left hand side. They try to go back through the middle. Switch the play over to Flanagan on the right. Tries to get into Graham, but we pick it up with our compression of that midfield, and Donnelly gets in again. He tries a much harder shot this time, but the goalkeeper's up to it. It remains 2-0, and so far, Forfar are drawn with East Stirlingshire, and Peterhead have actually taken the lead against Airdrie. Just as we mentioned that, Stranraer get a goal back from the corner. It is a weakness still, but we have been limiting those kind of opportunities. Very simple header there. You can see the height difference actually just looking at them from the camera angle. Patiently playing there, we try to put it over to Donnelly, but that ball rarely works. Those lower ones do though, and Donnelly gets in behind for another corner. The one thing I may change next season is I may have a short corner routine as well. I've got one which goes into the 6-yard box, one which goes to the near post. I think that considering our height range, we should probably have a short corner routine. As Stranraer go direct, and they get in here, and Yates really should have scored that. Very simple ball over a defence again. If he was 6'3", he would have headed that clear. He's not. It goes over him, and it gives Stranraer that opportunity to get an unlikely equaliser. And at 75 minutes, we have to make some changes. We will have tired legs. Spady is one of them in there, but we don't have anyone to replace him with. Instead, we're going to take off Birch, bring on Doherty. I think we'll just move Duthie over to that side and bring off McKechnie for Mackenzie. There's a lot more of an attacking threat. We'll bring on Jenks as well for some fresh legs for Wilson, who's not had a good game. He looks a little bit like he lacks consistency. We'll only get 4 minutes to wait now to see if we can clinch this victory. Jenks gets the ball in. It's all the way over to Duthie, who does rise above Spark, who's having an awful game for Stranraer. He makes it 3-1, get another victory here, but we are still 5 points behind Forfar, who are top in that table. We've all but secured that playoff spot. You can see why I would like to bring Jenks in here. Our youth player has been coming on leaps and bounds this season. 8 points clear of Edinburgh City with only 2 games left to play. This looks exceptionally unlikely. We do have 4-4 in the last 2 games. We could scramble that back. Look at the schedule. We have 4-4 next, followed by Airdrie. 4-4 are on a winning run towards the end of the season, looking very strong. They're going to be difficult to beat. If anything, we're on an unbeaten run and potentially we'd get a draw, but that's not really good enough. Our next game is Airdrie. Airdrie on a much less consistent run. They lost their last 2 matches, albeit a tough one against Peterhead, 2-1. Stenhousemuir before that, and they also lost to, again, 4-4, who are top in the league, so it's pretty fair teams to lose to. Anything you get out of those kind of games are a bonus. We've signed a couple of youth players who have just come from our youth pool. Murray Conway, reasonable stats, even his physicals at the moment, relatively decent, 15-year-old attacking right winger. We signed Ricky Thompson, who is a striker, good physicals, great aggression, great teamwork, great work rate, which I like to see, as well as pretty decent decision making, bravery, composure, concentration for his age. Although the low determination isn't inspiring, any money we can make on kind of players like that, we'll probably leave him in the youth team. And we signed Chris Smith. We always like to have a Smith in our team. This one is again on that left hand side, likes to be a winger, either in that attacking midfield role or on the midfielder left. This is the exciting part though. His mental stats, decision making 13 already, flair is 17, teamwork 17, work rate 12, off the ball movement 12. Not too much pace, but he is quite fast off the mark. Decent stamina again, and his stats are pretty good when you look at what we're actually averaging right now too. If we compare him to our current left of Mackenzie, Chris Smith actually looks better than him, already in the technical and attacking department, plus his vision's good. Much better in the mentals and defending. What lets him down at the moment is his physicals and his speed and that aerial prowess, and we always struggle for aerial prowess. It seems to be the players which come through our youth system are all quite small. We go into this game actually about to complete quite an odd record in what would be the most draws in a season. We've already got 17, which is the same as what the existing record is, and if we draw in this game we would beat it. So we head into it. The only player who we are lacking is Comerford, who's still suspended. It would have been great to have him in there. He is one of our best defenders. A win here could mean we would overtake 4-4 should they lose at the end of the season and we win our second game against Airdrie. But it's all ifs and buts, and currently it's a very tight affair. We're at 25-minute mark, it's 0-0. Both teams having a relatively average game so far. We are sort of edging it, but not an XG. Birch comes forward from that throw-in. It's back to Birch again. He tries to run inside to Robertson. Robertson plays it over to Duthie. Duthie gets in and Donnelly's there, but Donnelly hits that wild shot. His shooting is erratic. Sometimes he has composure like the last match. Other times he just smashes them. Birch here, back to Duthie on this left hand side. He gets in and he just goes in his own. He knows he can't trust Donnelly just to put it in the net, so he doesn't risk it. We go 1-0 up. It means it could be all to play for in that final game. We could be crowned champions if we can win these 2 matches. A lovely little bit of play by Duthie. Peterhead though have just taken the lead in the table with 58 points. We would also need them to lose in the final game if results stayed like this. We've been very commanding. Number of shots, percentage of possession. We always look strong with possession. It's exactly what I want, is us to be controlling the game. Keeping that really compact in midfield when we don't have the ball. Pressurising them without a full-on gegenpress. Birch now on this left hand side, back to Robertson. He's actually asked not to play risky balls like that because he quite often gives them away, and he did it again. And we have 4-4 coming at us now in this, trying to play that ball over the top, which usually works. However, Birch was onto it straight away. We try a similar effort to Donnelly, but it's very poor. Again, those don't really work with Donnelly. Forfar coming forward with a chance here at 49 minutes, and they do take it. So it's 1-1, and it's not quite as exciting as what it would have been if we were winning this game. We've got nothing to lose by not going for it. Just going to bring on some fresh legs. We're going to try and be a little bit more direct, slightly less on the reduced tempo. Put the pressure on them and see if this works. But it's Forfar who have the opportunity. They come down this right hand side with Slater, plays it into Strang, out again to Miller. He continues down to the byline, gets the ball in, back to Slater, who smashes it in off the top of the net. This will be the first game we've lost in possibly around 15 games, and it's disappointing to lose it, especially when it wasn't just a simple ball into a header. It was a little bit more patient than that. Normally a little bit better at defending on our feet, but it wasn't to be. And it does look like our chances going with a whimper for being champions, and it does so. We lose a game which we controlled. We head into our last game of the season with nothing really to play for. So I think this is where we will end the episode, and we'll come back for those playoff games. So I hope you've enjoyed this episode. If you have, please give the video a big thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and thanks for watching.